Supreme Kill Sound Maker.
Christopher Columbus came here 1492 to the north, yeah. Christopher Columbus was an Italian master, yeah. Navigator complete for biogas across Atlantic Ocean, yeah. There were ways for European exploitation, yeah. And the colonization of America, yeah. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Yeah. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with chips by the way whereof I speak unto thee. You shall see them no more, and they shall be sold unto your enemies for both men and both women, yeah. And no man can buy you, 'cause you are king and you serve the living God, yeah. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Yeah. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. The mighty God, even the Lord has spoken. Call the earth from the rising sun to the going down, hey. And out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, yeah. Gonna shine, oh, yeah, yeah.
Yo, DJ Deca, you hear me say, man, I'm okay, you know. And some boy, if you know, say, yo, we no play, we no laugh. We think them short like dwarf. So you know, Shantalama, we little with Talawa. Hi, DJ Deca, I'm up to the fullest.
When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet.
And it's me, your girl, the talk with Tiny. Y'all already know. I'm in full effect. What's good? Happy good evening. You know what I'm saying? Happy good evening. Happy celebration to life. You made it another day. Although these hunkies are working around the clock to kill you and me. Okay, that's their goal. You know. Um. Yeah. Yep. Pretty much. So let's see how. Because I oh man, we got so much to get into in such little time. But to make a long story short, thank you for afternoons. It always come through, and I have something else. Um,
Unfortunately, I believe one among several plans to ensure that the government's edict of mandated vaccinations, and by the way, the state of Oklahoma last week passed through its House just such a law for the state of Oklahoma and its residents that everyone will be vaccinated in the state of Oklahoma. Nor will you be able to really go anywhere without proof that you have had the vaccination at the point that the government mandates that certain levels of the population take the inoculation. There are plans ready to be implemented that would include roadblocks and choke points, as we call them, major interstate junctions around major cities and so forth, where the greatest number of people can be held until they either prove their vaccination. Now, this is one of several plans. It has not yet seen the light of day, but it is there. It's in readiness. You choose the poison. It's either slow homicide or slow suicide.
They're talking about a law where the police can knock on your door,
right,
or not necessarily knock on your door, just go in and essentially quarantine you.
Well, they're doing more than talking about a law. The state of Massachusetts, both houses of the legislature have enacted this law, and once Governor Deval Patrick signs it, and he says that he will, it'll become the law, and it will allow him to declare an emergency. And once he declares an emergency, he can authorize non-healthcare licensed personnel, read that to mean police,
sure,
to vaccinate people against their will. Now, can they force adults to take vaccination? No. They will incarcerate adults without a trial, without charges, without even a search warrant, who refuse to be vaccinated. This is what the statute authorizes. Right. It also authorizes the statute also authorizes the police to remove children from adults, vaccinate them against the will of the child and the will of the parents.
This is so troubling on so many different levels.
One issue that has come up is once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly to millions?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that, frankly, are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically, he's all set. And logistically, he's all set. And logistically, he's all set.
No good. What? No. Robert! Get your hands off my wife. Get your hands off. Stand down. Lieutenant Robert. Scan her again. Stand down. Stand down, soldier. Stand down. I am Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville. I'm ordering you to scan her again. Scan her again. All right, scan her again. It's clear. It's clear. Move through it.
So you can avoid lots of diseases if you've been properly vaccinated. And that's why Gavi was created. Gavi came up with the money and a plan to get vaccines out to all the kids of the world, out to all the kids of the world, out to all the kids of the world.
We'll have at least 100 million doses ready to inject of a vaccine or therapeutic.
How does the optional RFID chip work?
Well, each of these devices that are injection have the capacity to also have a small chip, It is designed so that there is no counterfeiting. It's simply like a barcode, only we know instantaneously where and when that dose has been used. That technology is purely optional, however, and the U.S. government hasn't even decided if they're going to use it.
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner.
Gavi operates with great transparency, and Boris Johnson is somebody with tremendous respect for you and everything you do. He called, he said, you think you could do something maybe around the Oval Office or right by the Oval Office? I said, why not? It happens to be right behind me. As the coronavirus has shown, there are no borders. It doesn't discriminate. It's mean, it's nasty, but we're going to all take care of it together. It's great to be partnering with you. We will work hard. We will work strong. Send my regards to Boris, and good luck. Let's get the answer.
So, my question today for Trump supporters, I don't know where y'all living, but has it ever dawned on you that this is not just only the left? You know what? Let me put that in there. Let me put this in here. Matter of fact, let me make that the title. Okay? Give me one quick second. You know, Booyaka. Now, before I can go on, because this is good. This gets great. This gets better. Talk with Tiny. Trump supporters. Has it ever dawned on you that this is not just a left thing? I can't help but to wonder how y'all get to act so oblivious to this information right here. And it's not like you can't Google it. It's not like you can't Google it. This shit is in the tip of your fingers. Okay? But he wants to congratulate Boris Johnson. Yes, that fungus looking ass motherfucker. Don't get me started out here, y'all. Don't, please don't. Trump supporters act like they so in love with their president, but has it ever dawned on you that the president is doing all this? That he is a part of the establishment. Like all of y'all. Like all of y'all. You can tell this shit to black folks and they'll still get on their YouTube pages and think so highly of him and still talk mad shit on their brothers and sisters. Meanwhile, this same motherfucking dude that they're pleasing and praising and high pedestaling is getting ready to ambush your ass with some motherfucking, let's see here, Well, we all know they all in together, okay? Okay, Gavi. Gavi belongs to Bill Gates, okay? But they use Boris Johnson. See, I don't. But you still got black folks, Trump supporters out here, ooh, doing the most. Doing the most. Playing victim. Playing victim with, in the name of GoFundMe's and Cash Apps. But telling people that, that want to, identify, situations and deal with situations, unlike cowards, that sell out. And it is a sellout thing, because they can't help it. They're like, well, I've been called sellout. And I'm like, go get the fucking violin, somebody. Get the violin for this motherfucker. Stupid ass coon. Buffoonery, coonery. Fuck out of here. And they just can't help it. That's the story of their motherfucking lives. And they be out here, talking mad shit. And because I'm living in spirit and in truth, they want to call me pro-black. No, bitch, I'm pro-real. I'm pro-real. I live in reality. What motherfucking word do you believe? What word do you live in? Obviously lies, because motherfuckers can't help but to be blind. And it's like, where do we go from here, though? Because I want y'all Trump supporters to know, like, Diamond, Silk, Bet Wedges, motherfucking slaves, like Candace Owens, slave clones, all these motherfuckers, they spent a lifetime being rich. And if they just now got rich, they don't plan on stopping anytime soon. Some of these motherfucking coons out there, like the celebrities, these slave bet wedges, homos from hell, I call them buckafuckers. Little buckafuckers running around here. I ain't finna call y'all no mothers. I'm gonna call you buckafuckers. Scumbuckets that sell yourself short on these fuckery videos. Some illusion that Hollywood had you dreaming, and you polluted the neighborhood and polluted the... Y'all motherfuckers is still doing the most. Y'all wanna work for these motherfuckers to go hard with it. It didn't matter what y'all gotta do to take us to hell. What y'all want, y'all just go the fuck on. Get the fuck on. And you know what? The massives. I'm still waiting. When half the fuck y'all motherfuckers, it's a billion of y'all motherfucking sleeping jokers out here. Not just a few. I'm talking about billions of y'all. Just as sleep as you want to be. And you know one thing about, especially the Puerto Ricans and Puerto Ricos in Puerto Rico, they play church in Spanish like no motherfucking body's business. I'm like, listen here, Negro, with your fucking colonized Spanish speaking ass. If you don't get the fuck on, like I tell the Dominicans, I roll up on them. I be like, oye, loco, you know you a native? What's up? What's up? You know you in your lane? Play with me. Get the fuck on. If you didn't know, they go, oh, sweet. I said, hey, yeah, I said, who you think you are? I'm Dominican. Oh, the fuck out of here. Let me see your hair. Come here. Let me see your skin, baby. Come here. What the fuck is you talking about? You hit colonized. You speak. That's how motherfucking deep they raped our motherfucking ancestors. Okay? Man, listen. Thank God for a seed. Hallelujah for a seed. They gonna sit there and act like, oh, the world's finna say sorry because Nick saying sorry. T.I. fucking with fucking this master. I call her Master Hunky. This bitch is a Master Hunky. And go check that Vicky Dilla out, because Vicky Dilla smashed her ass. I'm like, guys, somebody, rest in peace. Rest in peace, bitch. We had a fucking we had a tribute for her. Rest in peace. The truth killed her ass. You feel me? That's the problem with motherfuckers out here. You don't understand how lethal the truth is. The truth can murder something. Anything alive that's alive and kicking, you can tear that shit down with the truth. There ain't no reason to be acting all fake and half-ass out this motherfucker. We got work to do. We got a lot of love, self-love. Let me know. You know what? I don't always mean to come off some kind of type of way, but in the type of situations that we in right now, right? And I gotta speak like this to the Trump supporters. I just can't help it. I don't want to come off, sounding mean and harsh and heartless and rootless but when me speaking from experience, I can pull up plenty of videos, okay, proving that I done had it out with folks, okay. It's not like I'm going to say anything behind their motherfucking backs. If you look it up, you will find it. That I can assure you. You will hear me saying, you will hear me answer a question like, do you love white people? And I'm like, hell, motherfucking no. What the fuck is there to motherfucking love? Get the fuck on, motherfucker. I mean, going in. I don't give a fuck. But tell me, what is love? How the fuck they tell you love your enemy, pray for your enemy? Now that's wicked. That's wicked. You took advantage of my power. You took advantage of my... You try to dig in my soul. You try to steal my motherfucking respect. Get the fuck on. I don't motherfucker got to. See, this is a new breed. This is a new generation. I could be reincarnated. You just never know. Because the field that I have is, I'm telling you, it's very unsettling. Me, it always was ever since I was a little girl. You know, my grandmother embedded that shit in me. You know, that white ass hungry. See, I get to say things like that because I know what I'm talking about firsthand. So can't nobody say nothing to me. All these motherfuckers be like, oh, your mother's white. Get the fuck on, bitch. I just finished telling you I hate her mother because she was a racist ass bitch. What part you didn't understand, you stupid motherfucker? I just finished telling you motherfuckers I hate my motherfucking white mother's mother, that evil wicked ass bitch, because she was a racist ass bitch. She called me nigger, brillo head, blackie, everything. She made sure I knew I was a little baby nigger. It didn't motherfucking matter. She knew what the fuck it was. And even if I am light skinned, that bitch made sure she called me a nigger. She your father's little nigger daughter. Get the fuck on. I said, this bitch crazy. You know? And it's not easy. It wasn't easy. It still ain't easy. But that's a whole nother video for another day. You know what I'm saying? That was a heathen for real. That was a battle in my, ever since I was a demon. That bitch was a demon. Made no damn sense. But as I got older, I said, damn, I couldn't, and it's fucked up. One thing was for sure is that every white bitch that I ever met kind of like remind me of that bitch. You feel me? So it could never be an odds and an even. It could never be an even break off. It was always like, oh my goodness, this motherfucker. You just got natural rate off of them. To your bastards. Type them up. I can't do nothing but speak from experience. Now let me tell y'all something. I'm not hateful. I would love to love a motherfucker that could love me for real. See, that's the type of person, if you love me for real, I'm gonna love you for real. But them bitches ain't loving me for real. I can't even say that. I just can't. And then, let me tell you another story. Just as I thought, I don't know what the fuck, I always tell y'all this story, okay? So y'all know that I'm pro-real. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what motherfuckers be trying to stereotype motherfuckers around this motherfucker, trying to put a label on motherfuckers because you feel like something, you feel a kind of type of way, you think that person is what you feel and what the fuck you thinking. But you just 1 in a million, motherfucker. Get in line, motherfucker. Because whatever the fuck I've been through in my life, my motherfucking name ring bell. So If I could shake, you know what I'm saying, have you shaking and breaking in your motherfucking mind, then so be it. Not that that's my MO, because that's not my MO. But you got a lot of motherfuckers that you speak to them, and all they did was ever tell you their problems, and they swear they knew you for a lifetime. I'm like, bitch, you don't know nothing about me, bitch. You done told me your whole life. Look, I went from there to there, in a heartbeat. But anyway, this is for, the folks that try to downplay and undermine motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying, that be watching your shit in the cut, and they feel like they gotta say so whenever they feel like, and they feel like they can do all the shit and videos in the word in the motherfucking world, you know what I'm saying, that they want. You know, I'll tell you what. I don't be out here trying to do nothing more than warn folks about what's happening in the current time. If you leave it up to me, you would never even know of me, or even have a channel to come across, because this is a divine appointment channel. I'm not out there like that. So if you come across this channel, feel honored, feel blessed, because the shit that I'm telling you, you're probably going to hear it somewhere else. You're going to hear it in bits and pieces or whatever. But I try to just drop it like it's hot. Unfiltered, no filter. And I try to make it known, like, listen, we are in a crisis. And we dealing with never. And people can't ever get past me, because I'm always in my feelings. I'd rather be in my feelings than to be fucking worried about anybody else's feelings. You hear me? Because my feelings matter on this motherfucker. Because I can't hear y'all. You feel me? I can't hear nobody but my motherfucking self. You see me? I'm talking to the universe. The universe gonna say something whenever this universe say something, however they gonna say it. It's gonna fall on some whoever laugh, however it for. However, for the Trump supporters, how does it feel that you've been tricked? Because honestly, y'all, either you know you've been tricked, and the thing is, they steady, the only thing y'all hold on to for comfort is just to say, the left is doing this, the left is doing that, the left is doing this, the left is doing that, the left is doing that, right? All in your fucking brains. But you go and you click on a fucking video like this. No, where was that video? Oh wow, this is some other shit. What the fuck I clicked on? Shit. They get ready to make a fucking killer. They insist. They don't have no intentions on stopping. They say, where you going? Bring that ass here. Look at that. They've been doing the most. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing the most. Now let's go ahead and go back over here. Let's go back over here. Okay? Because we got some, oh, there it goes. What is this video? What is this video? Hold up. So y'all already know, U.S. $8 billion pledge for Gavi, the vaccine. Oh my goodness. Gavi's Trump who announcement, donor profile, Trump YouTube. Oh, you don't want to miss this.
Gavi operates with great transparency, and Boris Johnson is somebody with tremendous respect for you and everything you do. He called, he said, you think you could do something maybe around the Oval Office or right by the Oval Office? I said, why not? It happens to be right behind me. As the coronavirus has shown, there are no borders. It doesn't discriminate. It's mean, it's nasty, but we're going to all take care of it together. It's great to be partnering with you. We will work hard. We will work strong. Send my regards to Boris, and good luck. Let's get the answer.
Can you imagine that shit, y'all? Can you imagine? And then, oh, there it is. Let me get this bitch off my screen. Get the fuck on. There's so many of them trying. At one time, it's not even funny. Check this shit out, though.
In the day's other news, a monstrous explosion shook Beirut, Lebanon, and shattered much of the city's port. The health minister reported that at least 70 were dead and more than 3,000 injured. Video showed an enormous blast and shockwave that damaged buildings miles away. Officials said that 2,700 tons of ammonium nitrate blew up. Special correspondent Rebecca Collard is in Beirut. She spoke with us a short while ago. Rebecca, thank you so much for talking with us. So what exactly is known about what happened?
Well, actually, Judy, a lot is still not known about what happened today. The initial report said that this was some sort of a fireworks cache that was being held that caught fire. But I can tell you where I am now, and I'm very close to my own apartment. Last night, and even here you can see we have almost no electricity. Many of the buildings here that are even more than a dozen stories high have the top windows blown out. The walls are off of things. There is glass all over the street. So the most recent thing that we've heard now is that there was some sort of chemical that was being held in this facility, and that chemical caught fire. And because of that, we saw this massive explosion. And we're really talking, if you look at these photos, this video of the explosion, a massive explosion, then afterwards, this huge plume of smoke coming from this area in Beirut's port.
And as you described, massive after effect, loss of life, so many injuries we're hearing.
Yeah, the toll now, the official toll from the Lebanese government, the latest we're hearing is over 60 and over 3,000 people injured. But I can tell you, even where I am now, to this point, hours and hours after this blast took place, I'm still hearing ambulances ferrying people to hospitals. We've heard that a lot of the hospitals here in Beirut are basically overwhelmed with the number of injuries that are coming in. And unfortunately, Judy, I think that over tonight and into tomorrow, we're only going to see the number of dead and the number of injured rise really significantly.
Such a terrible incident. Rebecca Collard reporting for us from Beirut. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And in this country, Tropical Storm Isaias sped up the I-95 corridor along the East Coast today, leaving a trail of damage. The storm was downgraded after coming ashore as a hurricane in North Carolina overnight and heading north. Along the way, it spun off a tornado in Windsor, North Carolina, that demolished mobile homes, flipped cars, and killed 2 people. And heavy rain triggered flash flooding in suburban Philadelphia and elsewhere. The storm also knocked out power to nearly 3 million customers. Firefighters in Southern California have spent another day battling a wildfire east of Los Angeles. It's been burning largely out of control in the mountains. Thousands of people have had to leave their homes. Investigators say that a sputtering diesel vehicle sparked the
There was a
flames.
massive explosion.
The UN Secretary General
something
warned today of what he
really
called
shook
a generational
this city
catastrophe in
I've never
education caused by the
before, and I've
pandemic.
been through
In a video message,
wars here in
Antonio
Lebanon.
Guterres
this is
said that
something
school
unheard
closures
of.
have disrupted learning for at least 1 billion students across 160 nations. He said getting kids back into classrooms safely has to be a top priority.
We are at a defining moment for the world's children and young people. The decisions that governments and partners take now will have lasting impact on hundreds of millions of young people and on the development prospects of countries for decades to come.
Guterres said that minority children, the displaced, and others in crisis are at greatest risk of being left behind. Back in this country, 5 states held primary elections today, with voting by mail playing a big role. In Kansas, Congressman Roger Marshall and the former Kansas Secretary of State, Chris Kobach, vied for the Republican nomination for U.S. Senate. In St. Louis, Democratic Representative Lacey Clay faced a challenge from progressive Cori Bush. And in Detroit, Democrat Rashida Tlaib, leading progressive in Congress, is in a rematch. Brenda Jones, the city council president. President Trump has signed a bill that will pump nearly $3 billion a year into conservation, national parks, and outdoor recreation. The Great American Outdoors Act became law at a White House ceremony today. It is touted as the most important conservation measure in nearly 50 years. Critics say it doesn't begin to cover the $20 billion backlog in maintenance of federal lands. And on Wall Street, major indexes managed modest gains and have now made up nearly all of their losses from the pandemic sell-off. The Dow Jones Industrial Average was up 164 points to close at 26,828. The Nasdaq rose 38 points, and the S&P 500 added nearly 12. Still to come on the NewsHour, Dr. Jill Biden discusses the campaign for the White House and her new book, Where the Light Enters. The coronavirus provides cover for authoritarians worldwide to consolidate their power and stifle dissent. In light of the pandemic, one college plans to keep its drastically reduced tuition costs permanent, and much more.
This is the PBS NewsHour from WETA Studios in Washington and in the West from the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism at Arizona State.
To ensure that the government's edict of mandated vaccinations, and by the way, the state of Oklahoma last week passed through its House just such a law for the state of Oklahoma and its residents that everyone will be vaccinated in the state of Oklahoma. Nor will you be able to really go anywhere without proof that you have had the vaccination at the point that the government mandates that certain levels of the population take the inoculation. There are plans ready to be implemented that would include roadblocks at choke points, as we call them, major interstate junctions around major cities and so forth, where the greatest number of people can be held until they are either prove their vaccination. Now, this is one of several plans. It has not yet seen the light of day, but it is there. It's in readiness. You choose the poison. It's either slow homicide or slow suicide.
That's a bullshit.
They're talking about a law where the police can knock on your door.
Right.
Or not necessarily knock on your door, just go in and essentially quarantine you.
Well, they're doing more than talking about a law. The state of Massachusetts, both houses of the legislature have enacted this law, and once Governor Deval Patrick signs it, and he says that he will, it'll become the law, and it will allow him to declare an emergency. And once he declares an emergency, he can authorize non-healthcare licensed personnel, read that to mean police, to vaccinate people against their will. Now, can they force adults to take vaccination? No. They will incarcerate adults without a trial, without charges, without even a search warrant, who refuse to be vaccinated. This is what the statute authorizes. It also authorizes the statute also authorizes the police to remove children from adults, vaccinate them against the will of the child and the will of the parents.
This is so troubling on so many different levels.
One issue that has come up is once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly to millions?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that frankly are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically he's all set. And logistically he's all set. And logistically he's all set.
No good. What? No. Robert. Whoa. Get your hands off my wife. Get your hands off. Stand down. Lieutenant Robert. Get your hands off. Stand her again. Stand down. Stand down, soldier. Stand down. I am Lieutenant Colonel Robert Neville. I'm ordering you to scan her again. Scan her again.
All right, scan her again. It's clear. It's clear. Move through.
So you can avoid lots of diseases if you've been properly vaccinated. And that's why Gavi was created. Gavi came up with the money and a plan to get vaccines out to all the kids of the world. Out to all the kids of the world. Out to all the kids of the world.
We'll have at least 100 million doses ready to inject of a vaccine or therapeutic.
How does the optional RFID chip work?
Well, each of these devices that are injection have the capacity to also have a small chip, It is designed so that there is no counterfeiting. It's simply like a barcode, only we know instantaneously where and when that dose has been used. That technology is purely optional, however, and the U.S. government hasn't even decided if they're going to use it.
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner.
Introductory note and Chapter 1 of 2nd Maccabees, Dewey Green's version. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Adam. 2nd Maccabees, Dewey Reams version, Introductory note. This second book
Unfortunately, I believe one among several plans to ensure
who was given visions of the end from the beginning. Imagine a man who was taken up to heaven and was shown everything. Imagine a man in whom the fallen angels begged to intercede for them after they rebelled against the Most High. Imagine a man who was shown the most detailed account of Yahusha, the Son of Man, the King of Kings, the Holy One of Yahuwah. Imagine a man who has instructions for you, the last generation. This is Enoch, and the book he wrote for us, and the video you are about to watch lays out the directives he was given directly from Yahuwah to you. Welcome to part 3 and the final of this series. If you have not watched parts 1 and 2 prior to this, I implore you to do so, as they establish a few things. That this book is from the Holy Spirit. That our Messiah, Yeshua HaMashiach, quoted from it and taught from it. That this book was directly written for our generation. And most importantly, in the end of part 1 and throughout part 2, we discuss the instructions that Enoch was given that was directly for our time frame right now. Hallelujah. A link for both will be in the description box below, and one should actually be flashing above as well. So, on to part 3, as we pick up right where we left off in Enoch chapter 98, and continuing our instructions for the last generation. Here a warning to the unbelievers and to the believers alike, who do not believe they need to keep our Father's eternal laws, precepts, and commands. And do not think in your spirit, nor say in your heart, that ye do not know, that ye do not see, that every sin is every day recorded in heaven in the presence of the Most High. Woe to you who love the deeds of unrighteousness. Wherefore do ye hope for good hap unto yourselves? Know that ye shall be delivered into the hands of the righteous, and they shall cut off your necks and slay you, and have no mercy upon you. Woe to you who rejoice in the tribulation of the righteous, for no grave shall be dug for you. Woe to you who set at naught the words of the righteous, for ye shall have no hope of life. Woe to you who write down lying and godless words, for they write down their lies that men may hear them and act godlessly towards their neighbor. Therefore they shall have no peace, but die a sudden death. Woe to them who pervert the words of uprightness and transgress the eternal law. Just like our Savior Yahusha spoke to us. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Brothers and sisters, Yahuwah's law is eternal. We in this generation inherited lies told for many years. But praise Yahuwah for pouring out wisdom and His Spirit amongst us so that we can see the truth of obedience to Him. This is His grace and the power of His Spirit. Hallelujah. Next, we see more context of the days we are living in. In those days, make ready, ye righteous, to raise your prayers as a memorial, and place them as a testimony before the angels, that they may place the sin of the sinners for a memorial before the Most High. In those days, the nations shall be stirred up, and the families of the nations shall arise on the day of destruction. And in those days, the destitute shall go forth and carry off their children, and they shall abandon them, so that their children shall perish through them. Yea, they shall abandon their children that are still sucklings, and not return to them, and shall have no pity on their beloved ones. And again I swear to you, ye sinners, that sin is prepared for a day of unceasing bloodshed. And they who worship stones, and grave images of gold, and silver, and wood, and stone, and clay, and those who worship impure spirits, and demons, and all kinds of idols not according to knowledge, shall get no manner of help from them. And they shall become godless by the reason of their folly of their hearts, and their eyes shall be blinded through the fear of their hearts, and through visions in their dreams. Brothers and sisters, one can't help but think of Luke 21:25 through 28. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. It's time to look up, brothers and sisters. But in those days, blessed are all they who accept the words of wisdom and understand them, and observe the paths of the Most High, and walk in the path of His righteousness, and become not godless with the godless, for they shall be saved. Brothers and sisters, just like Revelation 1, verse 3, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Next, another strong warning. Woe to them who reject the measure and eternal heritage of their fathers, and whose souls follow after idols, for they shall have no rest. Interestingly, Revelation, the last book, pulls directly from this next chapter, chapter 100, as you are about to witness. And in those days, in one place, the fathers together with their sons shall be smitten, and brothers one with another shall fall in death, till the streams flow with their blood. For a man shall not withhold his hand from slaying his sons and his sons' sons, and the sinner shall not withhold his hand from his honored brother. From dawn till sunset they shall slay one another, and the horse shall walk up in the breast in the blood of sinners, and the chariot shall be submerged to its height. In those days the angels shall descend into the secret places and gather together into one place all those who brought down sin. And the Most High will arise on that day of judgment to execute great judgment amongst the sinners. And over all the righteous and holy he will appoint guardians from amongst the holy angels, to guard them as an apple of an eye, until he makes an end of all wickedness and sin. And though the righteous sleep a long sleep, they have naught to fear. And then the children of the earth shall see the wise in security, and shall understand all the words of this book, and recognize that their riches shall not be able to save them in the overthrow of their sins. Yes, brothers and sisters, we will be dwelling in the land of inheritance soon enough in security. For any who may be confused at this point, saying, aren't we the church, which is different than Israel? And isn't Israel that land already established with the Jews in 1948? For this, I point you to a few videos for your edification and instruction. Pause this video if need be, to search this matter out first, then return. In short, we who believe in Yahusha have been grafted into the olive tree that is Israel. Those who do not believe have been broken off. See Galatians 3 and Romans 11 for the clearest picture of this. The fear of Yahuwah is the beginning of knowledge. We seem to be living in a day where not only the unbelievers say, we can do as we will, without condemnation. However, even our own, who say they believe, also proclaim the same. How can this be? Enoch 101. Observe the heavens, ye children of heaven, and every work of the Most High, and fear ye him, and work no evil in his presence. If he closes the windows of heaven and withholds the rain and the dew from descending on the earth on your account, what will you do then? And if he sends his anger upon you because of your deeds, ye cannot petition him, for ye spake proud and insolent words against his righteousness, speaking against his law. Now, therefore, I swear unto you, the righteous, by the glory of the great and honored and mighty one in dominion, and by his greatness I swear to you, I know a mystery, and have read the heavenly tablets, and have seen the holy books, and have found written therein and inscribed regarding them, that all goodness and joy and glory are prepared for them, and written down for the spirits of those who died in righteousness, and that manifold good shall be given to you in recompense for your labors, and that your lot is abundantly beyond the lot of the living. And the spirits of you who have died in righteousness shall live and rejoice, and their spirits shall not perish, nor their memorial from before the face of the Great One, unto all the generations of the world. Wherefore, no longer fear their contumely. Woe to you, ye sinners, when ye have died, if ye die in the wealth of your sins, and those who are like you, saying regarding you, blessed are the sinners, they have seen all their days, and how they have died in prosperity and in wealth, and have not seen tribulation or murder in their life. And they have died in honor, and judgment has not been executed on them during their life. Know ye that their souls will be made to descend into Sheol, and they shall be wretched in their great tribulation. And into darkness and chains and in burning flame, where there is grievous judgment, shall your spirits enter. And the great judgment shall be for all generations of the world. Woe to you, for ye shall have no peace. Say not in regard to the righteous and good who are in life, in our troubled days we have toiled laboriously and experienced every trouble, and met with much evil and been consumed, and have become few and our spirit small. And we have been destroyed and have not found any to help us. even with a word. We have been tortured and destroyed, and not hoped to see life from day to day. We hope to be the head and have become the tail. We have toiled laboriously and had no satisfaction in our toil. We have become the food of the sinners and the unrighteous, and they have laid their yoke heavily upon us. They have had dominion over us that hated us and smote us. And to those that hated us we have bowed our necks, but they pitied us not. We desired to get away from them, that we might escape and be at rest, but found no place whereunto we should flee and be safe from them. And are complained to the rulers in our tribulation, and cried out against those who devoured us, but they did not attend to our cries, and would not hearken to our voice. And they helped those who robbed us and devoured us, and those who made us few, and they concealed their oppression, and they did not remove from us the yoke of those that devoured us, and dispersed us, and murdered us, and they concealed their murder, and remembered not that they had lifted up their hand against us.
Wow.
I swear unto you that in heaven the angels will remember you for good before the splendor of Yahuwah, the Great One. And your name shall be written before the splendor of Yahuwah, the Great One. Be hopeful, because formerly you have pined away through evil and toil, but now you shall shine like the lights of heaven, and you shall be seen. And the windows of heaven shall be opened for you. Your cry shall be heard. Cry for judgment, and it shall appear for you. For all your tribulation shall be demanded for investigation from the responsible authorities, from everyone who assisted those who plundered you. Be hopeful, and do not abandon your hope, because there shall be a fire for you. You are about to be making a great rejoicing like the angels of heaven. Ye shall not have to hide on the day of great judgment, and ye shall not be found as the sinners, but the eternal judgment shall be far away from you for all the generations of the world. Now fear not, righteous ones. When you see the sinners waxing strong and flourishing, do not be partners with them, but keep far away from those who lean onto their own injustice, for you are to be partners with the good-hearted people of heaven. Now you sinners, even if you say, all of our sins shall not be investigated or written down, nevertheless, all your sins are being written down every day. So now I show unto you that light and darkness, as well as day and night, witness all your sins. Do not become wicked in your hearts, or lie, or alter the words of a just verdict, or utter falsehood against the words of Yahuwah, the Great, the Kodesh One, or give praise to your idols, for all your lies and all your wickedness are not for righteousness, but for great sin. And now I know this mystery, for they, the sinners, shall alter the just verdict, and many sinners will take it to heart. They will speak evil words and lie. They will invent fictitious stories and write out my scriptures on the basis of their own words. And would that they had written down all the words truthfully on the basis of their own speech, and neither alter nor take away from my words, all which I testified to them from the beginning. Again, know another mystery, that to the righteous and the wise shall be given the scriptures of joy, for truth and great wisdom. So to them shall be given the scriptures, and they shall believe them and be glad in them, and all the righteous ones who learn from them the ways of truth shall rejoice. In those days, he says, Yahuwah will be patient and cause the children of the earth to hear. Reveal it to them with your wisdom, for you are their guides, and you are a reward upon the whole earth. Until I and my son are united with them forever in the upright paths in their lifetime, and there shall be shalom for you. Rejoice, you children of truth. Amen.
Now that's the book of Enoch, y'all. That thing ain't no joke. That thing will cut you up. And the saddest thing that we ever encounter in our lives, going to these front store churches, is we missed out on that book of Enoch. And how dare them? Oh my goodness, to the gracious. That is the true definition of transgressing the law. That's why we so lost. We so busted down. We so chopped up. Because they did a number on us, man. They took out things that could have made us. But I guess that was part of being diligent and vigilant. When the Most High threw that phrase out there, seek me. Blessed are those who seek me diligently. That's for real, for real. Because to come into some knowledge, look, I swear I want to be loved, but y'all some grimy ass folks out there. Y'all some grimy ass folks out there. I'm always with my antennas up, like, don't start nothing. It won't be nothing like this mug. Yeah. Go ahead. Go right the get on. You know? And that just sticks with me. You know what I'm saying? Whoever, like right now, I went back over there and I ain't see my other African dude, right? My peoples. I call him my peoples now. But I seen his peoples. First he was like in a nice sharp, you know what I'm saying, how they dress type shit. And like he's from Senegal. Yeah, he dressed like he's from Senegal. And his buddy wasn't there today. He was like, and I rolled up on him. Yesterday he was dressed some kind of funky ass way. Today he had some Pee Wee Herman ass vest and suit on. I said, look at him. Man, oh man. I said, you like to dress up, huh? Let them OGs be. All dressed up. Them sharp ass creases and shit. 2020. Doing the damn thing. I'll be damned. You know when you still iron your clothes. Like, who irons? Like, who wants to even iron, you know? I mean, jeez. I learned how to just, I don't know, I was smart in that type of tactic. Yeah, pretty much catch the clothes when they're really hot, hang them up, fold them instantly. So I don't have those problems. Save me some fucking backaches. But anyway, you know, I try to let this video be as smooth as possible because back to talking to the Trump supporters. You know, we always got to shift there. Like, how does it feel to know that you are included in this demise? And how does it feel to know that he who leaded into captivity was sure enough led into captivity? Jeez. That is my biggest point of it all. Of it all. How we got here. You know? They played too darn much. They done made this damn fool feel so good and comfortable with his stupid self. Knowing damn well he finna do, I'm telling you, he finna do it. Now, the big talk of the day is, would they be able to do something different with the votes? They just, you know, made it where people have to mail their votes in. The post office is thinking about closing. I thought that was funny. I'm like, I know that's right. But here's the deal. So, I mean, it looks like if that's the case, but you know, if anything and everything gets like stays the way it is, Trump gets to pretty much really be the last president. And when he go out, he gonna go out with a bang. Okay, I mean, like literally, like it could literally, you know, it's gonna really be some stuff. You know, I mean, like they working on. Oh man, they working on so much. You know, but let's see what else they got out here. You know, because they've been doing the most. Look at this fool. This fool right here Oh man, they letting him have it. Benjamin, Satan not a Jew. Get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? He think he the tribe of Judah. He think he the tribe of Judah. He think he a fucking lion. Look at this fucking prick. He the devil. You are Satan's little minion. Get the fuck on. Period. Look. They pretty much sing the shoulders up. Look at these motherfuckers. And you know what's funny? They will beat your ass if you talk about Jesus over there. And these Christian gatekeepers, they do the most with that. But they want to act like they allies. They want to act like they the people who's like. And then you got these Ashkenazis acting like they got beef with Rome. A matter of fact, I got a video of that too. Babe, I put that bad boy over. You know how they be coming for me over here, right? They took my video down with me and Crystal Clear. I gotta put that back up somewhere else. We know it's somewhere else anyway. It's popping somewhere else anyway. They ain't stopping now. Period. Let me go ahead and get this video so I'll give y'all an idea of what I'm talking about. Hopefully I still have it. Oh my goodness. Do I? Honestly? I know what I do got though. I got some TO.
Netanyahu over the phone. This is David Kohlberg again. This is probably going to be one of my most important videos that I've done yet. We're going to discuss a couple of things, new things that have come up. I have received classified documents from my White House insider, and we also have some memos that I've referenced in the past, and I'm going to walk through everything that I've been deciphering and learning from these videos. Excuse me, from the documents that I've received. So, we'll get into this. The crux of it, I want to just introduce you right away. What is it all about? This is it. This is what the documents reveal. There are too many people waking up. There are too many Americans, more and more of them, that are suspicious of Israel. More and more Americans aware of Zionism. This has been around for decades and decades. You go back to the 50s, 60s, there's a lot of literature about Zionism, about Judaism. It's not unusual, but the difference is today, more and more people are waking up to it. It's been a real tipping point where you always had maybe about 0.5% of the population that was aware of Zionism, that did not like Jews and whatnot, but they were never part of the mainstream. They were always dismissed as conspiracy theorists. They had no influence. So they were not really a threat. But that has changed. And you know that has changed. Anyone paying attention knows that has changed. We have seen a big change in comment sections on YouTube, many people making references to Zionism. It has become a part of the nomenclature. through the influence of 8chan, 4chan, many, many websites, and ultimately many, many YouTube channels that have been speaking the truth very aggressively for many years, but it has really gotten attention lately. It is somewhat of a cumulative effect, a snowball effect, where more and more people start to wake up to the truth and the facts, and it just expands. And people become more accepting of it. And they start to say, okay, it's okay for me to look at the information. I'm not an anti-Semite for looking at it. And it really starts to click for people. So this has been a big change in the recent past few years. What happened is that Israel, its agents, its propagandists, have been paying very, very, very close attention to this over the past few years. They know this is happening. They are very concerned about it. We are talking about 0.5% of Americans who have some idea of Zionism and they're against it and they understand it. That number, according to these documents, is now about, I saw two numbers. They said 15%, and another one said 7%, but that is a very large number of Americans that have woken up to what's going on with Israel and Zionism and the Israeli lobby and the influence. They're unafraid to hate Israel. That number is very high, and it has them very concerned. This is much of what the classified documents talk about, but we'll get into that more. I wanted to set it up for you so you actually understand what this is really about. What I was given from the White House Insider. The main part that you really need to know, though, is they have a plan for all of this. So I'm going to talk about that now. There is discussion within these documents years ago to ban the YouTube channels, to shut it down, all of that. But they changed course. They made a decision to do something completely different. And they decided, instead of censoring everything, to fund and promote gatekeeper channels, shill channels, to simply gather and collect all the open-minded people who are looking at the issue. And they did shut down some of the legitimate channels, and that has actually happened. If you're following some of that, you are aware that there have been channels that have been shut down, almost completely eliminated. Some of those channels were not a part of the original gatekeeper channels. They have no connection. They are truth-telling channels. Some of those they've eliminated that they felt were a threat or that might be calling out the gatekeeper channels. So, I'm just looking through some of the documents here and seeing what I want to talk about next. One really interesting aspect of all this is that the gatekeeper channels and the shill channels, typically these would be disinfo channels. Disinfo channels, like Alex Jones, for example, has been a long time disinfo Zionist channel. Very, very active in deflecting people away from Zionism. Alex Jones talks about everything, but he never talks about Israel. So that is an active disinfo channel that's been around forever. What they created with these new gatekeeper channels is very truthful channels. They're very honest. They don't put out a lot of disinfo. They are actually legitimate. And that is done to give them credibility among these people who are awake, who are waking up. It was very specifically done, the documents to talk about that. Now I'm going to talk about what is the purpose of the whole operation, and the purpose of this is to put out truthful channels, to attract people to them. They call it tag, track, and ID. It is a term used throughout the documents, TTID. It's something you want to remember. This is very common throughout these documents. They refer to it all the time. So what does that tell you? They want to tag, they want to track you, and they want to identify who you are. If you are watching these channels, if you are informed, if you are awake on these issues, they want to tag you, they want to track you, and they want to know exactly who you are. They want to know, and it talks about the tracking people's IP addresses through YouTube. They have access to YouTube. They do know who you are. So this is discussed a lot in the documents. I'm just looking through it right now. And there are two projects, and it's very important to listen to this. Project Pogo is one of them, and Project Zypher. I will spell that one. ZYPHR. Project Pogo and Project Zypher are the two projects that the classified documents are referring to, and each has a different role. Project Pogo is about the YouTube gatekeepers, how they are all agents. They are all paid to put out truthful information so that they can tag, track, and ID the people that are watching the videos and giving them likes and giving them comments. They're tracking all of it. Project Zypher is a different project, and that's what I'll talk about in a bit. That is the second stage here. That is coming up. And that is the extermination. They're going to exterminate these people, whether it is tag them for anti-Semitic speech, charge them with crimes, eliminate them completely, and this is where I'll talk about in the documents where they talk about guillotines, viral attacks, targeted, how they're going to eliminate these people without too much suspicion, without too many people noticing. But here's the problem. As I read the documents, I can see I have documents from 4 years ago, I have documents from 2 years ago, and then I have documents from 3 months ago. So there's a progression in the timeline as the projects change. And Project Zypher has changed. In the beginning, they were talking a lot about, okay, we are going to infect these people with a virus that imitates the flu virus. They're going to eliminate them in various ways that would not be suspicious. In the documents I have now from 3 months ago, they are saying the amount of people they have to eliminate is too large. It is too many. We are talking about millions of Americans. And this is where we see their plans are changing. And they are going to initiate something that is devastating and that is extremely frightening. And based on what I can see in the documents, we're talking about power outages along with a purge. They're going to come in, they're going to take you out of your home, and they're going to put you into a military vehicle or whatever, a van, and drive you away and place you into a camp. It is a very, very big operation that they're planning. It is millions of Americans. They will do it under the cover of night, under the cover of blackness, during one of these planned blackouts. The blackouts are based on documents. I'm just looking at it right now. They have a 3-day blackout. They have a nationwide blackout that lasts 2 days, and a lot of localized blackouts. So it is a whole series of blackouts that they're going to do. And of course it will be blamed on all kinds of things. They might blame it on Iran. I have seen that mentioned in the documents. They've already prepped people for this. There are going to be more blackouts. They're already predictive programming. So we may see more of this as we go on. As far as I can tell from Project Zypher, they are planning this next year and the year after. They are not done tagging, tracking and identifying everyone. It looks like they're at about 78%. I looked in the documents, and there were a couple of indications of how far along they feel the project is. They're like 78% done, but they're not completely done. It does take time to identify a YouTube account and then track it to the email that it was created with, and then the IP address, and then find out who created it. It does take them a lot of time to do that. It is not instant. It does take a lot of research, because a lot of people create a YouTube account with an email address that doesn't give any indication of who they are, an account name that doesn't have their full name on it. They don't use their real pictures. So it is a challenge for them, and that's why the project has been going on for so long. But it is coming to a close. In the next 6 months to a year, it appears it is coming to a close, and that is when Project Cypher will be initiated. So I have some notes here. I'm going to continue on, talk a little bit more about right. They're being tracked. They're being identified. That's the whole point. So a lot of people have said, well, why are some of these YouTube channels allowed to exist? Why are they allowed to so openly talk about the truth? And some of you might know Adam Green, No More News, and there are a whole bunch of others, and they're very, very open about Zionism, and they're very honest about it, and they're telling the truth. I mean, they are telling the truth. They're not hiding anything. They're not disinfo. They're not putting disinfo out there. But as far as I know, they're all a part of this operation. I can't say specifically if Adam Green is a part of it or not, but I would assume possibly he is. He has probably been guaranteed a lot of money. He's probably been promised a lot of things. He could be a Freemason. He could be a part of their operation. He could be an agent. I don't know. But I have no idea. It is total speculation on my part. I have no idea. All I know is this is part of the operation. What they want to do. His channel would fit into the MO. It is an example I'm giving. He is there to tag, track, and ID. Not him specifically, but the people behind the operation who are doing all the research and all the people who are commenting and viewing and liking. They want to know who they are. They want to know where they live, and they are going to eliminate them at a date in the future. Completely eliminate them. This is going way beyond the idea of passing laws to ban speech, which they're already doing. They've done it in America already, but not very aggressively, and we will see more legislation of that nature. But they want to completely eliminate these people because they do stand in the way of the agenda. There are too many people that are waking up. It is way too many for them to handle. They're starting to have an influence, and they're starting to change the conversation online. It is of grave concern to Israel. Something that the memos that I received, we'll talk a little bit about the memos. The memos are different from the classified documents. The memos are White House internal memos that discuss a wide range of things in terms of Trump's meeting with rabbis, discussions with Netanyahu over the phone. And one of the memos says that Donald Trump will have to declare himself King of Israel publicly. This is part of the process for them. It doesn't. There's no strategic reason for it. It is symbolic for them. Trump is going to declare himself King of Israel at some point. I don't know how, but they're talking about it in these memos over and over again. When he's going to do it, why they want him to do it, which again is symbolic. It has no strategic purpose, apparently. It is part of the process of the end game, basically is what I'm saying. So we will see if that happens or not. It sounds ridiculous. I can't imagine him actually saying it. But maybe he will do something like that. We will look out for that in the coming months. Based on my reading of the classified documents and the memos, so much of what is going on is planned. They've given people the impression that Trump has brought chaos to politics, but it's actually the opposite. It has been planned. Donald Trump's allegiance is to Israel. He's not only a Jew, he is a Freemason. They have promised him, his daughter, the sons, will enjoy very high-level ranking within the world government that they are forming. The capital, which will be Jerusalem. So that is why Trump is so dedicated to following the script, while performing the way that he does. It appears to be very authentic to his followers. Everything he's done, talking about the wall to the fake news, was scripted from the beginning around 2014 and 2015. And according to some of the memos I'm reading, he loved it. They introduced all of this to him and he loved it. They told him the plan. You're going to become president. You're going to say this and this and this. He loved it. He's already a little bit of a racist. He's already predisposed to some of this rhetoric. So he loved it. He jumped on board. And they promised him great things, especially for his family, if he were to follow through on these things and simply follow their script. And he does have leeway. He has leeway to say many things that he wants to say. He has a lot of fun doing this. But he does have script writers, and there's one of the script writers, I forget his name. He's bald guy. I want to remember his name. It's important to say it. Well, he is a big part of this. He writes a lot of Trump's tweets. He crafts a lot of it. Oh, I cannot remember. I'm going to have to look him up right now. Oh, Trump's speech writer. Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller has a big role in all of this. He is a dedicated Zionist. He has a lot to do with a lot of this. If you want to go down the rabbit hole, if you want to find out who's really behind it, Stephen Miller is a big part of it. So that is the whole of it. I want to get this video out. I want people to hear it. I want people to know what's going on. I've had some strange things going on in my house. I've noticed black SUVs. I mentioned it before. They're still there. I still see them every once in a while. The other day I went out to try to approach one, to confront them. Like, what are you doing here? I know you're here. And they drove off. As I could be right when I opened the door, and I look outside, I see them drive off. So, I don't know, maybe it's just coincidence that they were leaving and they saw, I don't know, but it seemed like they were very, very prepared to get out of there. So the next time I see them, I'm going to confront them quickly and make sure that they don't have time to get out of there before I have a chance to get down there, and at least they see me coming for them. I will try again. But I have seen them mostly at night. I open the window, I look out the window, and that is when I see them mostly. So I want to confront them. I'm tired of the harassment. I know they're watching me. I assume I'm bugged. I assume there's some way to hear what I'm saying, but I don't care anymore. I have been given the documents. I have been tasked with this duty to get the information out. I'm going to do it in any way that I can. I have given my friends copies of all of these. I have stored them in different places. I have a dead man switch in case something were to happen to me. So I've done my best to prepare because I feel like this is getting very serious. I mean, the documents they show me are terrifying. The plan that they have in place. I would expect they have this plan of gatekeeping and tracking people, but they're going to take it to a new level with Project Zephyr. They're going to take it to a new level. They're going to exterminate these people. One by one, through the blackouts. I mean, it says in the classified documents they plan to pick them up. They're just going to physically pick them up. They're also going to use all kinds of other means to eliminate them. Not just the high-value targets are going to be picked up. The lower-value targets will be given viruses, targeted viruses, that activate either right away or over time. They don't want it to be too obvious that all of a sudden a whole bunch of Americans get sick. Of course, there will be official stories in the news media. Okay, there's a flu outbreak, which indicates to me this will probably happen in winter. Not this winter, but possibly the winter of 2020, 2021. From what I'm reading from the documents, that is the timeline. It is not specific, but that is where I feel it's going to be, because they want to do a flu outbreak, and it will make sense in winter, and people won't question it. They have to eliminate a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people, high value of targets. It's going to be so many people that disappear that people will ask questions, so they have their cover stories, and they're getting them ready, and they got them in place. If this were a few 100,000 people, they could do it, but it is millions and millions of Americans that they want to eliminate. I think it's 15 million. Based on what I'm reading in these documents and some of the numbers they've used, which has not been totally specific about it, but it looks like 15 million. But it could even be more. They want to eliminate them completely. Completely. Because it's becoming a problem, and it has been a problem for a few years, and this is their solution to it. In addition to that, they want the world government, they want all of these plans to move forward. They cannot have opposition, because the things that are going to happen are going to be very, very radical. You're going to see the dissolution of the United States of America. You're going to see world leaders and the media endorsing something that is so crazy, and that is the dissolution of the United States of America and the endorsement of a world government seated in Israel. A lot of Americans aren't going to accept that, but they have to eliminate the people who are going to call out what's really going on. From my reading of the documents, how they're going to roll all of this out and justify the dissolution of the United States and many other countries as well, it appears their plan is to do all countries at once. Is going to be under the cover of financial collapse. Well, we have to do the world government. We're all going to die because the financial system is broken down. That is something that is talked about in the classified documents. That ultimately will be the cover story after they do the purge and eliminate the dissidents, the people who are woken up to Zionism. There will be a total financial meltdown, and they will say, look, we have to do the world government. We have to come together. We have to create this new currency. We have no choice. The chaos is too serious. It'll be probably 6 months of complete financial chaos, food shortages, rise in crime. Many, many people die. Millions and millions of people will also die from this. And then they will justify it and say, look, we have to do the world government. So that is what's going on. I'm about done. I'm going to do another video. I have more things coming up. I have a lot more planned because there's more in the documents that I need to discuss. I'll be back with another video soon. Thank you for listening, and I'll do more soon.
I'm God's battle axe. My ministry has fire. If you watch that video, it's going to hit you like fire.
But you're not concerned that people are using that video to undermine your position medically?
How does that undermine my position?
Well, it's just not. I mean, it's off the beaten path to say that demons are sleeping with you overnight.
But demons are sleeping with people.
Are they?
Yes. People call me from all over the world for it. They just exposed it. Do you know how many people are do you know how many people are suffering this that are like texting me, Dr. Emmanuel, I watched the video and I'm delivered? CNN just exposed it. CNN has done like the greatest job of promoting my ministry. You kidding me?
In diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines will get us largely out of this by the end of 2021. The therapeutics will start in diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines will get us largely. But fortunately, the innovation in diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines will get us largely out of this by the end of 2021. The therapeutics will start to cut the death rate, but the true end comes when between natural infection and the vaccine, we have this herd immunity. And for rich countries, sometime next year, ideally in the first half.
So we're going to be okay? Is that what you're saying?
Well, we're certainly going to be okay. We're lucky this one wasn't a more fatal disease. I do think this time we'll pay attention and, have the same type of practice and preparation. Some countries, did very, very well. The U.S. Did not.
So your foundation has given more than $350 million now to fight COVID. You are backing a South Korean vaccine in particular. Why that vaccine? And are there any other vaccines out there that look promising to you?
Between the foundation and this group CEPI that we helped create, one of the few things that was done to help be prepared, we're behind a lot of different vaccines. We're funding manufacturing capacity in many different sites, particularly for AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson, and Novavax. We may do that for some of the other vaccines, but those are the ones that are the most scalable, low cost, because we're trying to make sure we can end it not just in the rich countries, but also in the developing countries, and that benefits everyone if we achieve that. We're even asking the U.S. to contribute like they've done with other global health crises, which so far they haven't gotten around to that.
This vaccine from SK Bioscience in particular, is there something that stands out about that one to you?
No, that's just in a list. I'd say it's not as early to come as some of the others. We have really a whole portfolio where some of the later ones probably will be even more effective. The Novavax phase 1 data came out today and looked quite promising, actually above some of the others. To really stop the virus from growing in your upper respiratory tract to block transmission, that's tough. It's easier to block, to reduce sickness than it is to block transmission.
So how confident are you that we will have a working vaccine that can be distributed in mass quantities by the end of 2020? And is it going to be a one and done kind of thing, or is it going to be a seasonal vaccine like the flu shot?
Well, the initial vaccine, in terms of its effectiveness against sickness and transmission, won't be ideal. The phase 3 primary endpoint is for 50% effectiveness, and it may not have the long duration that one of the later constructs will. So some of those, particularly the more expensive ones, will mainly be used in the rich countries as a bit of a stopgap. We'd be lucky to have much before the end of the year, but then enough will complete that during the first half of next year. A number are very likely to get approved, and then we need to scale up. We need billions of doses to get the places that have a hard time doing the sheltering and are already so poor that the economics effects are quite dramatic. So it's the biggest challenge that the health community's ever faced. I think we'll rise to it, even though the right
Let's look at America.
Were not made.
We brought blacks into this country as slaves. We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet they rose, and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree, kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals, as slaves. Let's look at America. We brought blacks into this country as slaves. We never intended them to be anything other than a slave. But they began to grow in number and in power, and eventually they fought their way to some freedom. So we became even more cruel, and to keep our black Americans down, we lynched. But yet they rose. So then we used the welfare system, the criminal justice system, to keep them down, to contain them, to destroy them. But yet they rose, and they're rising. Then we built prisons and jails to hold them. Yet they rose. And so now we are doing exactly what the Pharaoh did at the end, sending out a decree, kill them. So until we admit that when we wrote this Constitution that all men are created equal, that we never intended to include our black brothers and sisters, our nation may end up facing exactly what the Egyptians faced when they refused to let God's people go. So I'm going to say this to my white fellow Americans, that the bloodshed that is on its way is not on the hands of our fellow black Americans, but is on our hands. We are the ones that are refusing to let God's people go. We are the ones that are refusing to acknowledge that we do not value our black brothers and sisters as equal individuals.
It's Clarion, Grandmaster J, Tiny Mikado, Black Africans, Hebrews of Egypt, 23rd dynasty, about 725 BC. Yeah, you can go to Isaiah 11:11. You can read it. I know the fact. We are Israelites. Stop enslaving us and killing us. Yeah. This is the struggle. Nothing can stop us. Then.
Tribes of Israel, all 12 of them. You enslaved
freed our women and our men, stole our history, stole our religion, and now you're trying to steal our lives. What you want us to believe ain't matter. You can kiss my ass right in the crack.
You keep treating us like we are nothing. Now we gonna let you know we something. Everything original. Have you ever asked yourself when you die, where are you going to? We are equal in the eyes of God. Stop treating us bad. Freedom, 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 yeah. Grandmaster J, the elect, and the chosen ones. It's Clarion, Grandmaster J, Tiny Mikado, Black Africans, Hebrews of Egypt, 23rd dynasty, about 725 BC. Yeah, you can go to Isaiah 11:11. You can read it. I know the fact. We are Israelites. Stop enslaving us and killing us. Yeah. This is the struggle. Nothing can stop us then.
Tribes of Israel, all 12 of them. You enslaved us, you degraded us, freed our women and our men, stole our history, stole our religion, and now you're trying to steal our lives. What you want us to believe ain't matter. You can kiss my ass right in the crack.
You keep treating us like we are nothing. Now we gonna let you know we something. Everything original. Have you ever asked yourself when you die, where are you going to? We are equal in the eyes of God. Stop treating us bad. Freedom, 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 yeah. Grandmaster J, the elect, and the chosen ones. Tiny Mikado, Clarion.
My question of the evening is why they so desperate for the children to go back to school. That's my question of the evening. Like how, and you know what? Straight like this. Like I'm gonna send out a shockwave right now. mothers and fathers, because at this point, mothers and fathers, something happened to our children, we both will cry as one. Some will care and some won't. If you send your children to these schools at such a time right now, you don't love your kid. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave that right there. Yep. To let your child out your sight. I don't care. I know times is rough. Some things are going, you're gonna have to make some changes, but you know what? At this point, this is where we're gonna have to determine who we gonna serve. Some gonna get it and some won't. Many are called, but few are really all chosen. For the road that is abroad, leading to obstruction. For the road is narrow, many few will find it. Don't go left, don't go right. But because you're your own person, you are in charge of your own subconscious, you are in control of your consciousness most of the time. Until you was taught otherwise and led astray. To the many, shout out to y'all that need to find your way. Some will make it, some won't. And I just feel bad for my brothers and sisters. But at this point, the whole America is pretty much in this situation. Some behave oblivious to this because of their clappings and chanting. They were able to make it this far. So evidently, now you will see the Republicans squinching and dying for freedom. But like I always told them, and I'm going to tell them again, you gave this creep, Donald Trump, your president, and y'all still talk about president this and president that. Y'all still cheer him on. Y'all still lead him on, and he makes it look so real. He will make you think that it's the left against him. He is in on this. Don't think for once he didn't buy. He bought plenty of things. You know how he invests in this. He went out with a bang. I don't care however you want to look at it. He calls it rich, big, small, rich, poor, free, and bond to receive this mark. I don't care how y'all call it. I don't care how you want to slice it and dice it. Y'all go ahead and play oblivious if you want. He is sending the military to knock on your door. Don't take my word for it, but look, I even had to do me a video there so like I could pull up just, yeah, they say, gotta have that proof. But they'll see something and there's nothing here to see. That's just another type of, nothing type of burger. These stupid idiots, and they play and they clown and they troll. But who's this? This is your president. This is who you voted for. And listen to his lyrics. He don't give two shits about you.
Once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that, frankly, are more difficult. But we are.
This is so beyond unprecedented. Like, what part you guys don't understand? You don't know how I want to pull my hair out and just curse and holler and boo-hoo. I said, have you ever heard the word fly to the moon? I want to call y'all all kinds of types of dumb motherfuckers out here. But what are you going to do? Key question. Are you still going to run around here and promote garbage, or are you going to really sound the alarm? See? You have yet to taste. You can, look, when everything about faces, you will be the first in line. You will be the first in line. See? If it did not hit you yet, it will hit you. Trust me. Don't worry. It's coming to a step near you, because you promote. You gave this psychopath authority and dominion to kill your ass and your family and everybody else. But you say, oh, no, not him. No, that's not true. What? Hear from the horse's mouth. This nasty ass.
Once you do have a vaccine, how do you properly distribute it? How do you get it out quickly?
Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers, and they do lots of other things that frankly are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically, he's all set. Tony, do you want to say something about that?
That is correct. As the vaccine rolls out, we'll be getting them distributed. And as you probably have heard, we are going to make sure that we do it in an equitable way, and it's representative of the population.
My question today, where the fuck were you when this video came out? Has it ever dawned on you? Oh my goodness, yo. There's no hope. There's no hope for y'all. And that's why the white people, you know, he who leadeth into captivity shall be led into captivity. And the black gatekeepers, let me tell you something. You are going to be a sacrifice. When I came on here this morning, I couldn't understand to see how why, but now that it unpacked itself, and how, you know, the karma, you shall reap what you sow type shit. Even if you go above and beyond to put energy out there, you know, just to even, you know, cheer this shit on. See, when this shit first started, y'all was clapping, chanting, like ya 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 yada ya ooh ooh wee motherfuckers. Look at your asses now, stuck in the house, quarantine, ooh ooh wee, no motherfucking where going ass type of motherfucking sit your ass in the house. No, you can't enjoy the land anymore. Get your ass the fuck on. Hurry up and get swiped off the land. You do not want sorrow to swallow your ass up. You know what I'm saying? You better hope you are swallowed in victory and not sorrow. Look at him. He look like his mama, Mother Teresa. That pedophile ass human trafficking. And this is who your buddy Trump turned to. I called him what? General? How he went from general to motherfucking doctor. He's a fucking clown. He's a clown. Okay? This bitch is a clown from hell. But Trump supporters, they supported this shit. And it always was the Christians. See, that nasty ass Christianity shit. Always. It was built just to lead these morons, you know. But like I always say, you know, Christians, boy, you are the only ones who dig your own demise. You love them worship. You love them idols. I mean, you love all those things. You love to be the one to worship their idols. You never worship in spirit and in truth. They done took your ass to a whole nother line ass level. They transgressed the laws upon you. And you never even took the time to even really read. And even to have a heart to even really truly wonder and thirst. Because it's not, this information that's loaded in me, it did not happen overnight, okay? It just didn't. It's amazing how fast it happened, because I went from there to there, you know what I'm saying, in a couple of seconds. It's amazing. Only the Most High can, you know, there's some genes that are awakening, you know, awaken in us right now, that are waking up in us, and we are yearning this information because it's falling on those, the sons and daughters of the Most High, you know, those who, you know, who did not reject this information, and who was smart enough to catch it, you know, because the delusion, the deception is so deep to the point where even Rick Wiles looks real. They are proper speaking psychopaths. They convince you with this crazy ass religion, with this false hope, this hideous, insane, claiming to be real news, true news, or whatever the hell case may be. And how they go at each other. I'm like, no, he's too intelligent to be doing this out here. But I finally got it, you know. The Most High, when the Most High love you, the Most High will chastise you. The Most High will work with you. You know, you have a certain age to get this. After a while, yeah, you better get it before you at least turn 40. Before you at least turn 40. If you already turned 40, please try to get this before 42. You know what I'm saying? Or 44. That is what it is, y'all. Look at this fool. Check him out.
Populations who need it the most, and
logistically, he's all set. Tony, do you want to say something about that?
That is correct. As the vaccine rolls out, we'll be getting them distributed, and as you probably have heard, we are going to make sure that we do it in an equitable way, and it's representative of the populations who need it the most. And we have the standard way that we determine that with the ACIP working with the CDC, but Dr. Collins and Dr. Redfield have put together with the National Academy of Medicine a group that will fortify that decision-making process so that we're making sure that we're very fair and equitable in getting the vaccine distributed properly.
And I think I could have Francis say that tremendous progress has been made on the vaccine beyond anything that we would have thought if you go back 6 months. What do you think?
Get it? Will you take it? Virus vaccine, will you get it? Will you take it?
Will I take it? If they would like me to, I'd go the first one or I'd go the last one. I don't want to waste it. But he's just saying, if there's a vaccine, would you take it? And she might like it, but it didn't work too well. Okay, that's okay. I would absolutely, Jim. If there's a vaccine and if they wanted me to be first online, I'd be first online, or I'd be last online, or I wouldn't take it at all. Whatever's.
Does this motherfucker look like he bothered? Does this motherfucker look like he worried? He don't look worried to me. Y'all motherfuckers always blaming the left. This motherfucker is the left. He is a fucking Democrat. He is a psychopath. That's what y'all failed to realize. Y'all too dangerous to him now. He is in a hurry to get rid of y'all fucking Republicans. His mind is motherfucking made up. Period. Yep. And he ain't got no problem. He ain't got no motherfucking problem with exterminating y'all motherfuckers. That's what he said. What he said? Hear it from the horse's mouth. What he said. Hold on.
Best for the country.
Barakatayawa.
You do have a vaccine. How do you properly how do you get it out quickly? Well, when we have the vaccine, we have the military all lined up, and the military is going to be doing.
When they be like Barakataha Yahawa. You know, I know somebody that say this all day. Barakata, Brokoto, Brikiti, Brakata, Brokoto, Brikiti, Brakata, Brokoto, Brikiti, Brakata, 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 Brakata. Get the fuck on.
Doing it in a very powerful manner. These are people that don't usually do vaccines. They do soldiers and they do lots of other things that frankly are more difficult. But we have our general, and logistically he's all set. Tony, do you want to say something about that?
That is correct. As the vaccine rolls out, we'll be getting them distributed, and as you probably have heard, we are going to make sure that we do it in an equitable way, and it's representative of the populations who need it the most. And we have the standard way that we determine that with the ACIP working with the CDC, but Dr. Collins and Dr. Redfield have put together with the National Academy of Medicine a group that will fortify that decision-making process so that we're making sure that we're very fair and equitable in getting the vaccine distributed properly.
And I think I could have Francis say that tremendous progress has been made on the vaccine beyond anything that we would have thought. If you go back 6 months, what do you think?
I'm telling you, yo, like, this is a psychopath-ass motherfucker. Period. And I'm...
Virus vaccine, will you get it? Will you take it? Will I take it? If they would like me to, I'd go the first one or I'd go the last one. I don't want to waste it. But
he don't want to waste it. Okay? That right there tells me he's a psychopath. And not to mention, don't ever forget how he want to inject some shit in you. He wanted this. Trump, look. Listen. Watch this. He is psycho. He is motherfucking psycho. Okay? This is Hitler right here.
supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that has in the check, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way.
Anything that we would have
And I
thought.
think you said you're going to test
If you
that,
go back
too.
6
Sounds
months,
interesting.
what do you think?
Right, and then I see the disinfectant, where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. The new headline is Trump asks people to go outside. That's dangerous. Here we go. Same old group. You ready? I hope people enjoy the sun. And if it has an impact, that's great. I'm just hearing this, not really for the first time. I mean, there's been a rumor that, a very nice rumor that you go outside in the sun or you have heat and it does have an effect on other viruses. But now we get it from one of the great laboratories of the world. I have to say, it covers a lot more territory than just this. This is probably an easy thing, relatively speaking, for you. I would like...
If they would like me to, I'd go the first one or I'd go the last one. I don't want to waste it. But he's just saying, if there's a vaccine, would you take it? And she might like it, but it didn't work too well. Okay, but that's okay. I would absolutely, Jim. If there's a vaccine and if they wanted me to be first online, I'd be first online or I'd be last online, or I wouldn't take it at all, whatever's best for the country. All right. All right.
Barakata Yahweh.
Brakata, prokoto, prikiti, trokoto. Period.
This is how much cinnamon it.
like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light. And I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number on the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. The new headline is Trump asks people to go outside. That's dangerous. Here we go. Same old group. You ready? I hope people enjoy the sun. And if it has an impact, that's great. I'm just hearing this, not really for the first time. I mean, there's been a rumor that, a very nice rumor that you go outside in the sun or you have heat and it does have an effect on other viruses. But now we get it from one of the great laboratories of the world, I have to say. Covers a lot more territory than just this. This is probably an easy thing, relatively speaking, for you. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure. If you could. And maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I say maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not a doctor. But I'm like a person that has a good, you-know-what.
But, sir, you're the president.
Deborah, have you ever heard of that? The heat and the light relative to certain viruses, yes, but relative to this virus?
Not as a treatment. I mean, certainly fever
Yeah.
is a good thing. When you have a fever, it helps your body respond.
We're very advanced in testing. Other countries are calling us to find out what are we doing. And by the way, within 2 weeks, you'll see numbers and you'll see different forms of testing, just like we came up with the Abbott Laboratories machine.
It's just the situations get it twisted, situations get it right. So many things are so wrong. Yeah. Since 1960 from now, no improvement, no hope, yeah. Take for instance the Chinese trying to take over, digging up our resources from here and there, yeah. From here and there, yeah. Wake up, Africa. Wake up, our leaders. Can't you see what's going on? Yeah. Wake up. Wake up. Africa, wake up. Needed to wake up. Yeah. Wake up. Oh. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Africa, wake up. Why is everybody looking up when they busy looking down? They're digging up our diamonds, digging up our gold, taking everything they could. Let's carry on. We slept for so long. We need to wake up. Rise, Africa. One voice, one mind, one spirit. Black is beautiful.
Supreme Cloud Sound Maker.
Christopher Columbus came here 1492 to the north, yeah. Christopher Columbus was